This is Theoretical Thrills, the podcast where three hosts pitch original theoretical rides and attractions based on things they don't own. A special guest judge awards bronze, silver, or gold based on three separate categories: most creative, most practical, and guest's favorite. With bragging rights on the line, the hosts will try to pick each other's ideas apart through gentle ribbing. So sit back, relax, and stand clear of the moving doors as we present Theoretical Thrills.
Theoretical Thrills, the theory of the thrill.
Oh boy!
In 3, 2, fun!
Hello, welcome to Theoretical Thrills. I'm your host, Brad.
Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Welcome to Theoretical Thrills. I'm Oliver.
I'm Brad.
And I'm Spencer.
And this is already going so well. So sorry that I've been missing for a while. I've been off doing some work elsewhere. But today you're in for a very special episode. This episode for Theoretical Thrills, the podcast where we take IPs we don't own and turn them into theme park rides and attractions, is based on the legend of Korra. And for that, we are joined by a special guest, Darcy Rose. Darcy, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fabulous.
It's so good to see you again. Now, some of you might be wondering where I've been this whole time. I actually went to go work on a show that Darcy Rose is currently on. That show is Big Shot. Feel free to watch it on Disney+. Now, with that in mind, we're doing The Legend of Korra. Now, Darcy Rose, why is this an important show to you? What's the connection? How do you know about it?
Well, the most direct connection is I was Ikki on Legend of Korra. I was one of Aang's grandchildren. And I was also a big fan of the original series, so getting to join the continuation of that story was just fabulous. And it was my first voiceover job that wasn't commercial. It was my first animation show.
Wow.
So that was very special, yeah.
That's awesome. So like the entire thing was just like a whole new world to you on the like long form side of voiceover work, right?
Yeah, I'd done training and stuff before, but it was the first time that I was actually doing the show. And you know, your first voice director being Andrea Romano is not a bad way to start off. So I was very, very lucky.
It's a pretty good in.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's pretty good.
All right, so that makes you more than qualified to be our guest judge today. But you're going to be judging theme park rides and attractions,
Yes.
the ones that we'll be pitching to you. Now, what is your connection with theme parks and rides and attractions?
I would basically live at Universal growing up, go to Disneyland every single birthday, spent my 16th birthday there. Actually, I was Princess Amber on Sophia the First, the singing and speaking voice of that character. And they had a Disney Junior live show at California Adventure. And I went, that was actually on my birthday, I went and heard my voice in the show and got to meet the puppeteer who was doing Amber. So yeah, a very, very loving relationship with theme parks.
Wow. So she might just be the most qualified person we've ever had to do anything.
I think she's definitely more qualified than Spencer.
Yeah, no, Spencer.
Wait, hold on.
Just so you know, Aang is one of the characters from the original show.
No,
she plays the Branda, so it takes place after.
By the way, I'm a fire. That's what I found out. That's my element as a fire element. So I do know a little something or two about Avatar.
I would pay very good money to see Fire Nation get a hold of you. I would pay very good money to watch that spin. Sure, bud. Out of all of them, I think that's the one that lines up the most.
I think you're a non-bender, Spencer.
Yeah,
Wait,
no, I
maybe it was air. No, it was Earth. It was Earth. That's
Good
what
thing
it was.
there's
It's
no
one of the four. It's
yeah,
one of
the four.
Yeah, I myself am a voice bender, so don't worry. There's other bendings out there. Yeah.
There you go. See, Spencer, it's going to be that easy for you today. So we're going to be doing these rides and attractions. You're going to be rating it based off of three categories. The award points that you're going to be giving out are for creativity. Now, what does that mean, guys?
Creativity, something that's creative.
Great.
Like something that it could be something that like maybe you don't necessarily think of it in the world of Legend of Korra, or maybe it's something that you do, but it has a creative, unique way of being presented.
I want to make it clear.
Creative.
I tried to get him to change this definition the entire time we were gone, Oliver.
I was gone
still
for months.
The definition, creativity
You were gone
is
for months.
something that's creative.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed.
I mean,
it's instead of
that's what it
aging like
is.
fine wine, you've aged like milk, and it's amazing to me.
So, but here's my thing: would you rather me just be direct about it, or like me, like kind of like, it's sort of kind of like? I mean, just say it's creative. Everyone knows what creative means, so that's
There
fine.
are options. All right. Anyway, so that's the first
I mean,
category.
that is the Webster's Dictionary version of creative.
Yeah, they just reused
I looked
the
it
word.
up.
Right to the facts, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of
That's being
commas.
creative.
The act of being creative.
Ooh. Now the second category. What's that second category?
Practicality, which is something that you could see fit in a theme park today. You know, even without COVID in place, but just something that feels like, yeah, that could be in a theme park.
Okay.
Awesome. And the final category is
The final category is guest favorite, and Darcy Rose, these are anything that tickles your funny bone, makes you laugh, makes you go, huh? Airbender avatar, whatever it is, this is your category. I have to change it every week to fit the theming.
Just so I know how much to rib you, Spencer, are you judging the Fringe again this year? Or should I be like really nice to you?
I haven't heard yet anything about that, so we'll see. But I mean, you know, probably, hopefully.
hold on a minute here. No, this is all isolated. This is an isolated incident, is what I like to call this podcast. It's everything stays within this bubble. It's a yeah. So it's that sort of that.
Well, we say it does.
If it's gonna ensure that I get points, I'm seriously judging the Fringe.
Oh my
I'm gonna
God,
be-
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Great, excellent.
If it helps, I have a thing that weekend. I have to walk my dentist. So let's go
you mean
ahead.
the thing that weekend of the whole month?
Yeah, that whole weekend of the whole month. I have a thing. It's just I wish I could get around it. It's one long birthday party.
It's during August.
Making up for the others that happened this last year.
I have to go save a rare seagull. I
With
don't
the
know.
car. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well,
So
thank you for doing your due diligence and saving those gulls from the sea.
you're welcome. It's a passion more than a thing. Speaking of passion, let's get to the point of the podcast, which is the competition itself. Now, before we started this show today, we ran our spinner and we came to this order. The order is
Myself first, followed by Spencer, and then Oliver will be doing cleanup duty.
now when we're done here, we'll do one more review for you so you're able to hear all of them one more time, and then we're going to have you judge. Now, does this all sound good to you?
Sounds fantastic.
Then without further ado, Brad, take it away.
Thank you, Darcy Rose. Thank you. First off, wonderful to have you here. Wonderful, not only here but also Fringe Festival. Great festival. Am I right? Let's just keep that in mind as we're talking here. All right, so I brought to you 3 attractions. Now, unlike Spencer for sure, I don't know Oliver's background with Avatar. The Last Airbender, but I've seen the entire series and I've watched The Legend of Korra as well. I love the entire world of it. We do not talk of the M. Night Shyamalan movie disaster that was something. I made it through I made it through like 10 minutes of it and then had to immediately turn it off. But it is a thing. So we're going to focus on The Legend of Korra, specifically with my 3 attractions. The first attraction is the Pro Bending Championship. One of the big things that takes place, especially in the first season, is bending, the fire bending, earth bending, air bending, and water bending are being used as a sort of pro sports arena where you have these teams of 3 competing to knock out the other team of 3 into the surroundings. So what we're going to do is we're going to take place. This is going to be a stunt show. It's going to take place in the pro bending arena. And the way we're going to design the pro bending arena is it's going to, we'll have our stage. The arena goes all the way around typically, but in order for us to be able to do some special effects and to be able to mimic the bending, the arena is actually only going to be along the half side. So when you come in, you're only sitting on half of it. The opposite side of the arena is going to be digital LCD and stuff like that to make it look as if there is a full arena around.
I'm already upset. He took it right off my page.
I didn't have this, so I'm fine.
It's a good idea.
To make sure.
Full seldom differ. Continue.
Because we've actually seen the show. Spencer doesn't have it because he hasn't seen the show.
I don't even know what half of the words you're saying are. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
An arena is where people go to see stuff.
I know
stage,
that.
People stand on a stage and then perform.
It's a whole thing.
Got it.
It's
I've
a
never
whole
done
thing.
that. I've never done that before, so I'm
Oh,
glad
no,
you
we know.
clarified.
Spencer's not even pitched yet. He's getting torn apart.
Just don't tear apart my pitches. Tear apart my personality. No problem.
Well, if you insist.
I mean,
So it's going to appear to be arena. We're going to use a mixture of projections, some actual physical elements, because I want to have some portions of the stage that are actually able to move, because I think that'd be especially really cool with earthbending, to see the stage sort of rumble down towards someone.
So an
Yeah.
earthquake.
No, not just an earthquake, like the actual pillars coming out as it travels down.
So a planned earthquake.
No.
sure.
Sure. Okay. Obviously, fire. Using fire effects for the firebenders. But we're gonna have to use a lot of digital projections as well to sort of make this a little more artsy, I guess, or majestic, because it's not just they're not just flamethrowers shooting out fire when they're firebending. They're like they can be, but they also have a little more majesticness to it. It's a very similar to like different martial arts forms where they're almost like a dance. And so I want to appear that I want to mimic that. We're also going to be using drones as well in order to allow us to do some of our especially the air effects and stuff like that, using some lights on the drones and digital displays on the drones to be able to show things moving around at a little bit faster pace and keeping it controlled. So you're going to be doing the show. We're going to be watching the fire ferrets competing against the team, and then I hope I pronounced it right. Eamon is going to crash the party and attack. Now this is one of the leader of the Equalists. And so he's going to attack, and that's going to lead to the second half of our stunt show, which will allow for it to feel a little bit more chaotic and a little more thrilling. It's like in Waterworld, the big the big takeover.
Spoiler.
Okay.
Ruined it.
And so that's my first pitch, Pro Bending Championship. Do I have any questions?
No, but I'm glad you said spoiler, but I wasn't paying attention, so I don't even know what the spoiler is.
I have a few questions.
Already, I was thinking about myself. No, I really like that. That's really fun. It originally did very much remind me of Waterworld, the stunt show kind of the spectacle, and I think every theme park needs that. You've been walking all day. The best part of the theme parks is the foot massagers outside and the water that you wait for when you're getting in line, and then where you can just sit and watch a show. And that's
enjoy the show.
Very cool one. Yeah.
Waterworld's actually a great show.
So that's my first pitch. So I guess then, without any further ado, I'll move on to pitch number 2.
No.
Oh, you have something to say?
I'm not. Buddy, I've been gone for multiple months. Listening to you get away with so many things. I want some explanations here.
So can you start back at episode 8 and just ask all the questions starting there?
Well, we'll start here first. So when you do your ground effects, now you're saying that you want to see the earthquake, you want to see the rumble. Now, if I'm understanding it here, you want to have little pistons pushing up little parts of the ground, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, as far as the discs that are being shot up and thrown forward, the plan for that is to use the drone tech, right?
That's going to be drone tech, correct?
Okay. So when the person hits these things, these drones that cost money and they have to explode, what's your show run cost here? How are you recouping?
You're not making them explode. It's just it's a digital effect. Essentially, you turn off the lights on it.
Okay, now the back LCD screen, or LED screen, LCD, that's a big LCD, big LED screen. I'm assuming you're going to also incorporate a bunch of your effects into that screen itself. So
yes, it's going to be mixed into that, and then I want to use a little bit of the why am I blanking on it? My favorite effect. They use disaster well, rest in peace, Disaster the Ride. It's essentially they have a screen that a scrim type screen that you can sort of see. I mean, that you can see through and stuff.
Projection mapping and rear projection.
And yeah, so I want to do some projection on that and stuff, so that we can bring some of the effects forward and then some of the effects backwards.
Great. You answered my questions.
Are the drones doing the effects themselves, or are they mostly the screens for which effects to go on? Like, are they, the airbending is coming from the drones itself, or is it being projected onto the?
So the drones themselves are, because there's a lot of the flying discs and stuff like that that are moving around. That's where we're going to use the drones to be able to control and do that, because you can, you program. They're able to do entire night shows programming all these drones to spell out entire things and make entire pictures. And so I'm just bringing that down to a much smaller scale with just a few.
A battle arena.
Yeah.
Just a battle arena, no biggie.
Yeah. Medieval Times has been doing it for years.
Exactly.
It'll be fine.
So, are we good then?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Pitch number 2, I call it Naga's Flight. So Naga's Flight is the way this is going to work is you're going to be, everybody loves Naga. It's big,
Of course.
polar bear dog. So what we're going to do with this is you're going to be riding in a sled being pulled by Naga, because I wanted to come up with a way to allow multiple people to be pulled, since Naga is not like a flying bison. He is smaller. So I wanted to do that. Now, obviously, Naga still has seats on her back, so we've got to make use of that. We've got to make use of that. So Naga's going to also be able to have 2 additional seats for people to sit. So it's sort of that front of the line. Do you want to ride on Naga? Otherwise, you're going to be in the sled in the back.
Okay.
This is going to be a trackless dark ride as a race through the city as the Red Lotus are in pursuit. So the Red Lotus are a big bending gang, sort of the opposites of the White Lotus, which you definitely even saw back in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Iroh was a big part of it. So they're in pursuit, trying to chase you, and Naga is trying to. You've been loaded up. Naga's helping is taking you to escape. So it's pulling the sled, and we're gonna get effects. We'll be able to see a dark ride. We'll see effects of airbending, of firebending, of waterbending. I want to see the different types of bending occurring throughout this, sort of like Spider-Man, the Spider-Man dark ride, where you can, he throws the the pumpkin, the exploding pumpkin, and it causes the flames to shoot through the pipes.
The goblin, the goblin does.
Yeah.
Spider-Man throwing those pumpkin bombs.
Yeah,
sure. I skipped over the guy. Yeah. What
is context if not just the whole thing?
But it's going to be a mixture of storytelling and fast portions, a la Cars, except it'll be all indoors. Cars has that part. Its fast portion is outside.
Right.
This will still be inside as you're racing through the city, being pursued. Now, what's going to make this a little different is the thing with trackless rides is the cars are able to program and follow different paths, so they have slightly different paths that they're going through at the same time. I want to have Naga on a slightly different path than the sled, with the idea that as Naga's making these turns, the sled is going to slide a little bit further, as it would with physics, before it catches up. So it just gives a little bit different ride based on if you're on Naga or if you're in the sled. Nothing too drastic. You're still behind Naga and being pulled by Naga, but it allows for more of the momentum, like, oh, Naga's just taking this sharp turn, the sled's gotta make a little bit more of an arc to catch up and to actually travel as it would in real life. That's pitch number 2, Naga's Flight. I'll take my questions now.
Well, my first question is the name.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the name either.
What a coincidence.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I just didn't know what to call it. And so I wanted, so this is the prototype name called Naga's Flight. It's a prototype name. This is the code name that we're going to use during construction, so it doesn't get revealed. Like when they film movie shoots and stuff like that, there's always a code name
Like Smuggler's Run was Big Bird for a while.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
So
No, I just thought it was funny.
This is Naga's Flight is just going to be because people are gonna be like Naga's Flight.
Naga's Escape, maybe.
Because that's the character that flies all the time.
Right.
Right.
I mean, if you wanted to fly, I mean, Twinkle Star Child or Princess Rainbow would be a good pick.
You
But
could call it like sledding through the city with Naga.
What? No,
Sledding through the
I don't want
city.
a terrible name. I got a cool.
How did you make it
building
worse?
That's me.
Oh God.
I'm gonna call it Riding in a Sled Pulled by Naga with 2 additional seats on Naga Trackless.
perfect.
Kind of
Cut and
a
print.
good title though.
Just, like, right to the point.
I mean, like,
How much movement is it? All simulated movement? Is like the entire city going on the screens behind you, or is it you are moving for real inside?
So you are moving for real. This is gonna be actual physical sets, all physical sets. I think the best example is the Ratatouille at Epcot. So they have Ratatouille in Paris, and they have it in Epcot, and it's you're in a car like you would be for any of the dark rides, Snow White, Haunted Mansion, anything like that. Except the difference is there's no track. You're able to slide around on this smooth floor. It's all programmed in the vehicle.
Okay.
How you're going to be moving. And so that's what allows it to. That's what would allow for my sled to have a slightly different movement pattern than my Naga.
I like that. That's fun.
Okay.
Sled Showdown might be a fun title.
It's his ride.
I'm just
Also not-
offering
it's
suggestions.
also not
You
two
have to
sleds
mess up your
competing.
own.
It's not 2 sleds competing.
Well,
Sled
it's
Showdown.
like-
It's like, oh, all right,
You
our
know,
sled versus your sled. This is not
Slow
a race.
down, sled.
No. All right.
Would Naga just be the ride, or would it be an animatronic as well? Like, would the actual Naga that's leading it have movement and character?
I would like to think that I'd be able to have Naga have at least some simplistic movement of the head and maybe not as much the legs. It's a little bit harder, and over time it's a lot of wear and stuff, but at least with the head I feel like I could definitely do some movement. E.T., the ride, when you ride the bicycle, if you got that middle bicycle up at the front, you got E.T. in the basket, and he would actually pop out and make little noises and stuff like that. I want something a little bit more in line with that, so that it feels like Naga is a part of this story, but you're also, because there's so many other things going on, you're not super focused on what Naga's doing.
And would they be the Red Lotus actors or animatronics?
A mixture of animatronics and just you hear the noises off screen and then the effect happens.
Gotcha.
So sort of like they're attacking from further back and stuff, and you're not always sure where they're at.
Fabulous.
Okay. All right, that brings me to my third and final pitch. All right, this name, we might like this name. I'm just gonna. It's called
Always good when you have to preface it. Go on.
Taste Benders.
Okay.
So this is my restaurant idea. All right.
Okay.
So this is going to be a restaurant that blends the unique cuisine of the different benders and the different bending nations. It's very regional types of food that each bending style has. So we're going to offer a variety of different foods to represent the Air Nation. This is going to be our sort of vegetarian options because the Air Benders are vegetarian. It's going to involve cooking methods, typically baking and steaming. So we'll see dumplings and sweet buns and things like that. So this will be a lot of fruit and vegetables, very vegetarian forward. Yeah, that's the Air Nation. For Water Nation, it's going to be boiling and stewing, and it's going to be a lot of seafood based. Since the southern tribes they're water, they're going to be based along the water, so they're going to have a lot of seafood based food options. Earth is where we're going to be able to have our steak, but most importantly, our cabbage dishes. You gotta have the cabbage dishes.
I was waiting for it.
So we'll have different variations of cabbage dishes incorporated with the steak and meat and chicken. And then the Fire Nation is going to be our spicy foods. So we'll have some curries and noodle soups that are going to offer a little spice and stuff. And then we'll even have a sort of Fire Nation hot sauce, so that for people that want to add a little Fire Nation to any of their other options, whether air, water, earth, any other food options, they will have that ability to add a little bit of Fire Nation spice to it.
Sounds like a little bit of a taste blender there. See what I did?
Yeah, you just added an L to what I already said was taste benders.
Look, the pandemic's been bad, Spencer, but this is worse.
If you're adding fire to another cuisine, then you're taste blending. It's a taste blender. I'm helping you.
No, it's a hat on a hat is what that's called.
I like that.
Caps for Sale, great book.
Okay.
Darcy Rose, do you have any comments?
An Ikki request would be, can there be macaroons?
Yeah, we could do macaroons.
Well, that wasn't in your pitch. Wait till my pitch. I have macaroons.
She had a request. Oh, look, I have that would fall under baking. So that's covered. Great.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I love that. I love the different types of food and pulling from the cultures that Korra pulled from. I think that's really fun. I love it. Yeah.
And then metal bending, it would be the forks.
Absolutely.
Can they be bent forks?
If you're from the Earth Nation, yes.
Just not a very
it's
good.
called pitch bending, I think, is what's happening here.
Blood
There
bending.
it is. There it is. See,
Okay.
what she did was to combine what we did as a commentary on the source instead of just a bad name.
Well, I didn't say I was doing anything correct. I was just throwing out ideas.
That is fair. That is completely
I didn't
true.
say they were good. I just said, here are some thoughts.
That's also true.
Without any further ado, then, Spencer, let's hear your awful bitches.
Ooh, okay. I don't know if I can top those.
You can't go on.
We're just gonna get a little less. We're gonna go with a little less thought and a little more complication in these pitches. So what we've got here, a little less compensation.
What are your pitches? You're stalling.
So I'm just debating if I want to do the most Spencer or the least Spencer first.
I think they're all going to manage to be.
I'll just start with the least Spencer. I'm going to start with Ikki's Air Nomad Glider Race. What this is a dark ride / simulator hybrid. It's like Soren meets Peter Pan's flight with a little bit of Tatsu from Six Flags Magic Mountain, where guests hop aboard vehicles that resemble their very own air gliders as they journey through the air temples in Republic City, narrated and led by Ikki herself via voiceover and animation. Scenes shift between flying over the cities and flying over scale models, kind of like the lagoon in Peter Pan's flight, as guests traverse through the world of Avatar. And yes, this is a flying ride, so there will be moments where you will actually be flying over the city where you're facing.
Wait, what's the vehicle?
It's like a hang glider. Like how Soren has like a hang glider, but they're more individual. So like how Tatsu like falls over.
So instead of doing the wingsuits that are in the show, go on.
I don't even know what a wingsuit is, but Ikki, one of the things that Ikki is very good at is air gliding. So you're using the air gliders, like the things that look like wings, the air gliders. It's like a hang glider. It's like a hang glider.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. It's a dark ride simulator hybrid with a little mix of Soren and a little mix of Peter Pan.
Why do you keep saying it's a mix of Soren?
Because it's like a hang glider.
He's just associating the word.
It's got a little bit of a screen like projections too, like you're
Is
flying
it
over
the
the city.
flying over California Adventure?
Yeah, kind of like that, but more dark ride with it's like the Forbidden Journey where there's like screens and there's also dark ride elements.
So it's not a simulation ride.
It is not a simulator. It's a dark ride / simulator hybrid. So
what does that even mean?
So it's got simulator screens at parts, like the Spider-Man ride or the Transformers ride, where you got the simulator moments, but it's also a moving dark ride. So it's a dark ride on. So
you're wearing 3D glasses?
No 3D glasses.
What are the height restrictions and stuff for this ride?
Like 42 inches.
What's the height restrictions on Tatsu?
54 inches, I think.
Okay.
It's not like big scale as Tatsu. It's more of a small indoor dark ride. It doesn't have a 200-foot.
Yeah, but the reason there's certain restrictions on it is not just because of the speed and that. It's because of the average size body that it's trying to hold without people slipping out.
I want
Sure, but
to
it's
I want to circle
not gonna
back
go
to
as
his
fast either.
sentence. Hold on, I want to circle back to his sentence of it's not like Tatsu. It's a small indoor dark ride. Here's my.
It's just the only thing that is related to Tatsu.
Hold on a minute here. Let me confirm this with you that I just want to understand that full picture that you're painting here, Spencer.
I don't think
Pick
you
up
will.
what you're laying down. Is this ride stationary? Is the
No.
vehicle moving?
Yes.
Or is this a roller coaster?
No.
Okay. So
Okay.
how are you being put into the glider? How are you?
Yeah, so you like how Soren works at California Adventure. You get in like into the the harness or whatever, and then you got like the
So
lap
you're
bar.
sitting.
So you sit, and then once you get in, when the journey goes, you tilt as if you're. But it's like not a fast paced thing. It's a slow glide.
But you're seated. You're in a seated chair.
Yeah, you're seated, and then it tilts.
And then it tilts
as you fly.
So your legs are locked?
Yes.
So instead of flying like a bird, you're flying like you're on a hang glider.
Correct.
But a seated hang glider. So not even the luxury of the feet are up and you feel like you're flying. You just feel like you're stagnant.
No, you have.
And you're just swung back and forth.
No,
It's
when
tilting. So you're like a
when
seat that's like facing down.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, that's this seems.
It's a slanted. So on Tatsu, you get in a seat when you get on the ride, but it's slanted. So when it tilts, you're actually like at the level where you're flying. You're not like sitting in a seat.
Okay.
But
Here's my question: How long am I going to be? How long am I going to be uncomfortable?
You're not going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, the whole time. That's how the ride works.
The moment you walk in the park.
I mean, it's a slow, leisurely, journey. It's like a 2-minute ride, 2.5-minute ride. It's a dark ride.
Okay.
Right.
Tatsu itself is like 4 minutes long, and that's an intense ride. I did it.
What do you want, a medal?
I'm just saying that mine's a lot tamer. It's like so. Okay, let me think about it. This way.
Yours is tamer than a museum.
So what are they? The Pteranodon flyers at Orlando Islands of Adventure. If that track, it's the Pteranodon flyers.
No, let them go.
Isn't it the Pteranodon? It's not pterodactyl flyers.
Just
it's
give up. Just
flyers.
give up. Just finish. Plow through, bud.
If that like ride mechanism tilted, that would. But you're not sitting in a seat, but you're like slanted. And then when you go, it's like, I mean, you're not like sitting in a chair. You're, like this. You're flat, like the Superman ride at Six Flags or.
Ladies and gentlemen, I feel like this would be a great opportunity to bring up the fact that if you're listening to this podcast, there's another option. You could watch the whole thing. And in order to watch the whole thing, you're going to want to see this part, specifically the way he just described things. So feel free to check out the YouTube channel just for this specific purpose of this moment in the show.
Or Instagram, because I'm sure I'll put it there.
Yeah, no, that'll definitely be there. Anyway, great ride.
It's hard to explain.
What is your second pitch?
What's your oh God, that was only one.
Well, first of all, I love to say that it's Ikki, of course.
He's pandering.
Bias.
Just get ready.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my
Give me
second
more
pitch.
on myself, apparently. Yes.
All right.
It's a licensing deal.
Just remember the Fringe Festival.
Red, you look so good today.
Wait, hold on. Okay, listen.
What's your second ride, bud?
Well, it's not a ride. My second pitch is also it's a quick bite service place. It's either going to be called Korra's Creations with a K or Nomad Nom Noms. And so how this is going to work, it features an array of foods from The Legend of Korra and I think a little bit of The Last Airbender mixed in, including from the Air Nomad, vegetarian Momo, from the Water Tribe, Kale Cookies, Fire Nation, Flaming Fire Flakes, Earth Kingdom, the Kale Nuts Go Smoothie, others such as Pro Bending Popcorn, the Lychee Nut Juice, or Korra's Cabbage with a K. And the special is Mako's Macaroons. It's an assorted tray of delectable macaroons. And so that's that. A quick service bite place with a bunch of fun names of different things, and Nomad Nom Noms or Korra's Creations with the K.
Now, is this a stationary place or is it like one of the?
Yes, they only sell stationary.
Yes, exactly. Just you can write a letter to home from the
Office Depot.
Yeah, it's like an office too. A lot of people thought we were crazy when we pitched it, but we think the execution.
The macaroons are actually erasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Or
that's a good idea, though. Go on. What were you saying?
You'd erase them, and then they wouldn't look like macaroons anymore. You'd just be like, "This is just an eraser."
That's fair.
You're like, "Why did I pay $20 for this?" Okay. So the are they stationary restaurants, or do they move about the park? Not move about the park. Are they like the churro stand? Like, are they throughout the park, or is it like one restaurant that you go to?
Yeah, it's like
Are they
one
nomadic?
cafe.
Are they
They're not
nomadic?
actually,
There we
which
go.
I should have. That would have been a great thing. But if it's Korra's Creations with a K, the nomadic element isn't relevant.
Yeah,
but
you didn't
it's-
decide on that, and so she was asking if they were nomadic, and they are not nomadic. So therefore, we've now negated one of your titles.
Great. So Korra's Creations with a K. That's fine. It doesn't negate the rest of the food that exists in it.
What was that? What was that Airbender one that you mentioned?
The Air Nomad,
Yeah, the Air Nomad. What was the name of that one?
vegetarian Momo.
You gonna eat Momo?
Yep, there it is.
I don't know what Momo is. I just saw it as a
Yeah, Momo is a character.
when I was googling, and it said that Air Nomad eat
Bring your
vegetarian
kids
Momo. So I
to
went
this
with it.
lovely little spot where you can have a vegetarian meal featuring the head of the beloved creature.
The kid's like, I don't want to eat Momo.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I think Momo's an actual food, though.
It's also maybe it's also the name of Aang's beloved pet friend.
Yeah, Momo's a
Friend.
it's a type of steamed dumpling with some form of filling. It's not.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
just
really
saying-
know what Momo.
we know, but it's a lot like it's like
I'm
saying
just saying-
I'm going to PBS Land and eating lamb chop.
Yeah, that's exactly what
well,
you've
it's not
done.
going to be. I guess it's
Lamb chop is a food.
Doesn't mean you want to hear it. At a
it's not going to be called vegetarian Momo. I'm just saying that's
Just
what
called
it
it
is.
vegetarian Momo.
Yes, today's special is the grilled Elmo, freshly sliced. We
I mean,
also happen to have
it's
murdered
it can
Big
be
Bird.
it can be called vegetarian dumplings for all I care. It doesn't.
There you
The
go.
name doesn't matter.
Well, you called it vegetarian Momo.
Oh, boy.
But that's what it is. It's like a kale cookie. I'm not going to call it kale cookie, but it is a kale cookie.
Are we talking about killing Cookie Monster now? Wait.
I don't know.
Okay.
No,
no
it's
clue.
kale. It's a kale cookie.
Oh, okay. Will you have gluten-free options for so many
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yep.
Like
Gluten-free,
what?
dairy-free, nut-free, all different kinds. Well, all
Like
of these
what?
options, for the
Ingredient
most part,
free.
ingredient-free?
ingredient-free food. All of
Bottled
these
air.
options, for the most part, have a gluten-free
from
or
LA.
dairy-free option.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, I love that.
All right, your non-nomadic food stand. What's next?
I went with there's something called the harmonic convergence that happens.
Oh, no. Please don't.
And
mess
the word
this up.
the word harmonic made me think of music. And so this is Ikki and the Harmonic Convergence, a harmonious musical. And this show is a musical revolving around Ikki and her discoveries through a telescope. It's an indoor musical featuring Ikki's journey during the harmonic convergence. The show features projections representing spirits and astral projections during her journey through the harmonic convergence. It starts with a family returning, and on the balcony of the island tower, through her telescope, she sees Korra's astral projections, and the story unfolds from there through music.
Okay.
I can't tell if I'm angry or disappointed, or I
both.
can't. There's so many. I have a headache.
Well, the telescope reminds me of Princess Amber's love for the stars, so I actually found that very enjoyable. Just a little cross promotional pandering there.
Mhm.
And of course, I would write the musical. So
Right.
I'm happy with that.
Mhm.
Yeah, you could be Ikki on the show.
Yeah.
I
Employment. Yes.
I want to know what happened while I was gone that he became like this.
What do you mean that he became like this? This is Spencer.
I've been like
was
this.
was I just gone for long enough? Is that what
I
happened?
think you just forgot.
Oh.
Become unaccustomed to the Spencer-ness of
What?
Spencer.
Hey, Spencer.
so
what
let's
is the
hold
harmonic
on.
convergence.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you had to just a light dusting of what you think the plot of this harmonic convergence musical would be like, just run me from opening number to the end there, just real quick.
Yeah, so the family returns and they're like, "Wow, we are returning from the pre-harmonic convergence."
Okay.
And then because I think that's actually a thing, the pre-harmonic convergence.
One would think.
And then I think it's actually a thing because I think I googled it. And then it's like the family, and then the tower, and then the telescope. Wow, all these projections, and then we get transported into Ikki's world, and then things are happening. The harmonic convergence is around them.
What's Ikki's world?
Elmo's world.
No, it's basically reenacting the harmonic convergence, but through Ikki's POV.
Okay.
I will say that's what I will say, because I'm gonna ruin it otherwise.
Oh, I want to hear more. I want details.
I was gonna say, Bud, if you put enough pressure on a piece of coal, eventually you'll realize. Go ahead.
So
All right.
what does this theater look like?
Fair question. A fair
So
question.
it's going to be similar to something like the Hyperion Theater at California Adventure. When they were doing Frozen, R.I.P. Frozen, when they were doing that show where they have where she's like on
where they had Aladdin.
Yeah, where they had Aladdin. Like where she's on the glacier or whatever, but she's like up and it like spins around. So that's like the telescope on the island tower, and like then you have the
it's just a basic
around. Theater
with a stage.
Oh, but it's like a fancy dressed area. But yeah, it's like a regular old stage, but it's dressed to look like the island tower.
So you're not entering the tower.
No, you will. Yeah, sure you will. So
Casually,
So like in the Frozen show, they have like the doors, and then they like open the doors, and then they like flip it, and then they're inside the other room now. So it'll be like
you
outside of the tower. They're walking up the stairs and then go around the tower.
You yourself physically,
the
audience are not going to be in the tower.
No, the audience will not be in the tower. No. It's a traditional stage show.
So did you say it was a fancy dress? Like you have to be dressed up fancy?
Ball gown.
Oh, no, what I mean...
No, I mean, Oliver, I always wear a ball gown.
No, I've seen your work.
Yeah.
No, what I mean is it's a fancy dressed set. Like, the set looks really nice, is what I meant.
So
the set's wearing ball gowns.
On the way from the churro stand to the theater in the middle.
Yeah. No, what I'm picturing is you show up and there's a person at the door that goes, "You need a jacket in order to come in to this attraction. This is an attraction."
You have someone handing out towels in the bathroom.
And why are you soaked with water? I just went to the pro bending stunt show. Well, that's not going to
Well, that seems like a you problem now, isn't it?
Well, then you just bring a change of clothes. How dare you?
It's the only place that doesn't do...
You are an airbender. Blow dry yourself clean.
That's what it is. There's two blow drying airbenders doing like it's a full beauty area right on the way outside. They're giving you a blowout.
Cross promotion. The thing that cleans you dry is the decontamination stand from New York in Doctor Who.
There
and
you go.
You get
You can get a mud mask because of Earth Nation.
There's so many cross promotions. You know the Coca-Cola cooling station. we get.
Yes, it's the Chevron airbending facility.
This podcast is sponsored by anyone who wants to sponsor us.
Yep, that's pretty much it. Correct.
Well, Spencer, I could say with confidence, I have no other questions.
I'm good.
I think I have a lot of questions for myself, but I'll save those for later.
Okay.
Darcy Rose, do you have any other questions for him?
I think I'm set. I think I got it.
I think it's a pretty clear pitch.
Super clear. The clearest.
So clear. Almost opaque.
Sometimes the stage might be a little opaque.
I don't like you on a human level. All right, here we go.
You love me on a human level. See, I know what I did.
Let's jump into my pitches. Now, with all this stuff aside, I think that there's something that we get to capitalize on here that we didn't get to do if we were to do an Avatar Land, because there's something that was very special about The Legend of Korra, both from its animation style, the way it played with the camera, even down to the animation techniques themselves. There's something that really set the entire feel and tone that for some reason doesn't get celebrated as much in some other people's rides and attractions. I'm not naming names.
Of course.
So let's start off. We'll start off real easy. Let's start off with the food option. All right. I have Iroh's Spirit Cakes.
Wait, I'm sorry. I got a quick pause. Brad, on my screen, you're all the way on the end. So you just pointed at nobody.
On my screen. Yeah. On my screen, I'm pointing right at Spencer.
Not to mention.
No, you're pointing at nobody on my screen too.
Not to mention the people listening to this have no clue what's happening.
So my restaurant,
That's better.
Great, Brad.
Iro's Spirit Cakes. It's a small tea garden / cake area where you can go that gets a healthy option for sweeter foods. So during the scene where Iro comes in and he starts telling this whole story about trying to get her to calm down, and that's a whole feel and tone that's in that moment, we have all these spirit animals that are around. I want to create a gorgeous little cafe surrounded by different animals, different puppets, different sorts of things where you can stop and have a healthy alternative to sort of the junky theme park food that you would be having throughout your day, and has sort of a zen feel and tone to it, something that's going to be a nice relaxing spot.
Yeah, get a little avity.
Sure, bud. Instead of brevity. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna serve different types of calm tea. We're gonna serve different cakes and different options that are made out of healthier materials. Instead of doing sugary sweets, we'll use coconut and different sorts of organic ingredients that were actually sort of a nice change of pace for the theme park food. Because I know that when I go to a theme park, the last thing I'm really going there for is a salad. But if there's a good option for it, might not be the worst idea.
Right.
So this is sort of a calmer, more easygoing experience. And that is just Iro's Spirit Cake Cafe. Any questions?
I have no questions. I love that. My suggestion, which I think you already said, but is to make sure there's a lot of options for tea, since Iro has such a fondness for tea. There should be a lot of a wide variety, not just like we have black and green. That's it.
Whatever you want. We have them on tap.
What kind of tea do you have?
Earl Grey.
I don't know, like a capital T and a lowercase T. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say there's a lot of options for puns here. Because you said you're using coconut.
Please
right?
don't make
coconut.
puns. Please don't.
That you could do because it's the Legend of Korra, you could make it a Korra-nut.
That's not even a very good pun.
That's not even.
I didn't say it was a good pun. I just said it was a pun.
My question.
I mean, it's a loose pun.
I think my question here, I think is going to be dealing with your environment.
Mm-hmm.
So this is you're having cake and tea with the spirit animals, correct?
No,
So
the spirits are around. So these are small little puppets that are around, either animatronic or live action, that are coming around this tea garden, so you can interact with them. They're all fun. It's a calm experience, but they are on the outside. So if you're sitting in the center, you're not really being messed with or that sort of thing. But it allows for that interactivity to be on the outside, gives more of a backdrop to it. While at the same time, towards the middle, you're actually getting a nice fancy tea garden.
so these are animal looking puppets, not so much.
Nope, spirit looking puppets, not animal looking puppets.
Big difference.
Well, I'm
Huge
trying.
difference.
There is a difference. That's why I'm trying to clarify.
Difference, Brad.
I know. That's why I'm trying to clarify. If
No,
they're
it's a
spirit-
bunch of the Muppets animal, and they're
That's
just
what it's
all
really
around. That's
feeling
not.
like.
Just
And,
promoting again. It's
Yeah, tea time.
I'm just curious why you choose to go with puppets for a spirit or animatronics for what's supposed to be spirits, when I feel projections and lighting and stuff like that's going to be a more spiritual thing.
I don't know if this takes it out of the spiritual, but this might be a good option to have the covered costume workers that you usually have at theme parks as well. So having a mix of those people coming in is something that you see at theme parks. It's good employment opportunity, and it's probably a lot less work than effects.
2 reasons. One being the one she just said, and 2, every time I bet my money on puppets, it tends to fall towards me. It seems to work. They're the better option, but also the biggest reason is the fact that if you include a light bulb, anything that involves projection, anything that involves something that might be tech-based, they have a tendency to break down. And when you have
mean
that in
which
the middle
animatronics don't have. You're correct.
which hold on a minute here. You have the ability to have that, but the tangible items themselves are in the room with those people. The other side of that is that if you're taking photos with these, which people are bound to do, that if all these camera flashes are going off, it's going to be messing with the effect. And the final reason is you're outside. You're enjoying this entire area. This area has some open air feel to it.
Oh, it's
So
a
having those
whole
projections-
outside. It's a whole outside.
Yeah, That's because when he has the tea time, he's outdoors. Even though he's in the spirit world, he's actually outdoors.
It's just tea with the Muppets. Okay, next.
Yeah,
next round.
more or less just tea with the Muppets.
Tea with the Muppets.
Yeah, thank you.
You can make it like, since they're going to be spirit animals, you can make it like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Ooh, you're right.
For the Halloween season, you can make it like Five Nights at Freddy's. And all your spirit animals come to life.
You could also make it hidden and make it secretive.
No.
Do you have any questions?
Pitch number 2.
So many, but nothing that actually has to do with this podcast. So continue.
Thank you. No, that lines up.
I can answer all of them later. I'm happy to.
I'm sure you can.
We never asked. So let's go ahead and move on to my next experience. Now, the next one I want to do, and I was told I should avoid death traps because that tends to be what I lean in towards.
I didn't tell you to avoid that. I said
go
heavy on the death trap.
So what I've decided to do is create my own little air temple island sort of set up here. Now, this area is going to be an air training area where you or your kids get to be one of the air acolytes. You'll join in some of the training exercises that are rigged up to make it seem like you have the ability to bend air. Teaching techniques that are similar towards Tai Chi and the airbending style, you'll be able to trigger different effects that happen throughout this area. Think of a Fievel Goes Westland or an interactive play place, but the idea being that it's one step above that. This area allows you to be interacting with these different obstacles as you go through them and become one of the air acolytes being trained in the ways of airbending. This experience, which will last anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes if you enjoy it in its entirety, or if you just want to skim through and just go to the play areas, you totally can. But this experience is very similar to the Jedi training experience that you might see in the current parks or at DCA's new area for Doctor Strange. You will take on the role of an airbender. Now, here's the fun part. We sell all the different items that can come along with this, as well as the robes that you could be purchasing and being a part of this whole thing. But a piece of technology that I want to add to this, very similar to Spider-Man's web shooters, is basically a wristband that tells when you flex your wrist. If the flex is right, then that will then send a small jet of air that you'll feel towards your palm and trigger a Bluetooth reaction. So basically, you're getting the feel of getting to bend air. Now, one might say, but what if I don't have wrists? Or what if I have a broken arm and I can't do the experience? And this isn't very handy capable to people without arms. And I understand that. And I'm here to be sensitive for once about this sort of thing, which is why that we are going to make this a handicap accessible experience that you can do from the safety of your chair or whatever situation you want to do, where the Bluetooth reaction can be set up to be triggered remotely. So we'll have operators standing off to the side to allow for that to happen without having to purchase the tech. Mm-hmm. That is my Airbending Academy off of the Air Temple Island.
So how are the pneumatics working for this wristband to actually be not a pain to be wearing that's going to be able to shoot air out?
Small CO2 cartridge and a small release. You can buy the cartridges in bulk when you're at the park.
So it is.
It's a money ploy.
Okay.
Yeah, exit this way through the gift shop.
It's not. It doesn't have anything that's pulling in outside air or whatever and shooting it.
No. Yeah, it's a small compressor that you're holding down and listening to it compress, and nothing says peaceful airbending like. Give me another minute.
For that small, you wouldn't.
Just give me like 5 seconds to recharge.
I swear, it's just if I move my wrist faster, it tends to inflate faster.
You have a portable charger, honey.
It's a pump. It's a small pump. It's just.
What if you could use physics so that the natural movement of your wrist, is collecting air into your.
I don't know, Brad. Maybe the way science works, or just basic physics. But aside from those grounded reasonings, yes, that's. So here's my thing. I'm just picturing every time the couches you do that, the inflatable couches that you can have outside where you like sweep the air, wrap
Oh,
the end
yeah.
of it, and then put it down.
Yeah.
That no one can ever do on the first try. So you just see them running
that's
around.
What I want. That's what I want to see
it.
with your. That's what I want to see with the wristband. People
The
randomly
airbending
try to
experience
punch.
looks like a bunch of bees attacking.
Would you be
I feel like
would you be able to go through the park trying to turn off or turn on different things with your airbending? Is it like the wand from Harry Potter as well?
Exactly.
A bunch of people just kind of going like this, trying to make something happen. I don't know. It's just like a little
Just walking through the park.
Yeah.
You know, you're
It's
gonna
not
get
actually a sensor. It's just like a little piece of like food
No,
that
you-
some toddler threw
You
on.
totally can. We could add pneumatics to different signs and small actuators around the park to make different items spin. We could have a symbol that has that sort of situation. But the idea is that to have like the large paddles that are rotating to allow you to go through it like a leaf,
Be the
or to
leaf.
be able to actually be a part of that experience, I think is something that could be fun
Have
and
you-
calming.
Have you considered expanding this to the other bending styles?
Like, so
shoot
fire.
flame off. Water could just be a squirt gun.
No, I
feel like-
Earth bending, you're just shooting little pebbles at people.
I feel like
This is lovely, perfectly chaotic. Continue, Spencer.
I just feel like for air bending, like you could really just throw a couple trampolines in there and call it a day, and just make it like a trampoline park. Because if you're jumping up in the air, you don't have gravity when you're up in the air.
I got another question. Back to you.
Trampolines are great; they're fun.
Oh my gosh, no one cares.
What
Back to your ride.
are we not stuck on gravity doesn't affect air?
Back to your
Go
ride.
on.
So this is taking place on the air temple, correct?
Yes, this is pre the invasion of the air temple.
Ah,
So this is going to be high up.
No,
How are you giving that illusion?
ground level. You could easily do it with foliage and trees and mirrors. That's not difficult at all. You just create immersion. It's you literally just add mountain rock sides to it and then point it out towards an area that's above the eye line of the standard regular park. So you just create a small incline and do what Batu did. Use forced perspective to make it seem like you're higher up.
so my producer brain is going a little bit on the fritz. How extensive would this training session be? Because I just the back of my head just says the words liability over and over and over again in the back of my head.
Sounds about right.
So,
Which brings me to why I said the air temple and air bending and that sort of thing. So the idea being that the rides and the different the different mechanisms that are part of the training, the paddles that are swinging around and that sort of thing, aren't using that much force. They could literally a kid can just go like that and stop it. Think of like a revolving door at like a Macy's or something like that, where it's really not that difficult.
You tested that? So okay.
That is not the thing you want to use.
Like, hey, Godson, just put your finger in that little door right over there. Okay.
Look,
These spinning
I-
blades are going to be like the revolving doors at Macy's.
Revolving doors, I'm not a fan of. You gotta like know when to go in.
Wait, hold on a minute here. They caught me in something stupid, but Spencer, do you not know how to use a revolving door?
No, you know, like no, it's fine. It's like the ones that like are really going. You have to like know which one to go in. Otherwise,
When
you,
you're
like,
at
hit yourself
LAX,
with the thing.
answer me this. When you're at LAX and you're coming out and there's that electronic revolving door,
Uh-huh.
is it just terror for you? Or are you just like
No,
standing there for an
balloons
extra
are
25 minutes?
balloons are the worst for me. But
Really?
no, I don't go through
No,
LAX
what is
anymore.
that? Why do you say
Balloons.
The sound
your version to
popping
air and gravity? Is that
popping balloons really freak me out. No,
So
I don't go
that's
through
my,
LAX anymore.
That's
I
my
go through
air
Burbank.
temple. That's my air temple
Where-
training experience as an
which-
air acolyte.
right?
No,
you
I
were
wanna-
doing a thing. That's right. Yeah.
Where is the revolving door at LAX?
Oh God.
When you're
At the beginning.
It
and the
was always you'll get used to it. It's when you're coming out from the flight when you're coming in from Chicago. If you're flying into LAX, you'll get used to it.
Which airline? Because like Delta doesn't have that.
Oh no, I don't fly Delta.
Oh,
I don't think Delta American has it.
We're not sponsored by Delta.
We are not sponsored by Delta. Delta,
But we
if
could
you would
be.
like to keep
Sorry,
it.
I got
don't
Sky
want
Miles
it.
with Delta, and I've never seen a.
I got
No, by all
Sky
means.
Miles with
I'm
Delta
still-
American.
They kept me 45 minutes. It's a whole thing. I hate Delta. You know what, Delta? If you want to sponsor this, feel free to call me up and we'll have a conversation.
No, don't talk with Oliver if you're going to
Okay.
sponsor us.
Yeah,
all
no,
right,
I'm
great. So you got your air temple that's
Okay.
not really in the air. Okay, great. Third
Now,
thing.
one might say, but there's no ride. What's going on? Like, why would you not design a ride for a theoretical thrills park? Where's the thrill? Well, the answer is in
The liability of the air temple.
there it is. The thrill is me watching me collect money from it.
Right
No,
there. The
uh,
blood boiling.
This is what I would like to create.
Yes.
So when Korra first gets into the main city, once she enters Republic City, there is a miscommunication. She thinks she's helping when she causes a bit of damage, which leads to a chase where they think that she is one of the robbers, or one of the would-be mobsters. Now, this will be an interesting experience because there are 2 different rides built into the same experience.
Oh, okay.
So here's how this would work. Combining Stickman technology that they're using on the newest Spider-Man ride, along with 2 rides that are built into one, you're going to create the Cops or Korra tracks of this ride. Now, you could get on the Polar Bear and you could ride through the streets of Republic City as it's crashing, going up buildings and being chased by the police who are metal bending around the buildings, or you could be one of those police that is chasing them. Now, this ride goes in alternation of experience. This way, the people who are riding it get to ride with the right kind of animatronic that is on there. So if you are riding on the Korra one, you're going to be on the Polar Bear. The ride seats 3 riders sitting in a row, running through the city. The front of the ride car itself is an animatronic, as well as the back tail, which you'll have both moving, and that will chase through the city streets as you're trying to get away from these cops. Now, the cops on the other side of this is once that ride takes off, the second ride clicks into the docking station where you will board what is basically a swinging arm. The swinging arm will use a technology of a visor in the front to give you the illusion that you are metal bending to different surfaces. As you lift your wrist past the point of where the screen starts, it will release a digital version of the metal and cause your arm to swing that way. The control system in the actual arm itself will never allow you to come in within danger of another obstacle, but will allow you the feeling that you are swinging through the city while chasing an animatronic Korra on. Yes, how can I help?
I'm gonna stop you right there. So,
Just watching Brad's face.
how is your ride car designed for this swinging metal bending? Like it's just multiple 1-person arms.
Just how?
And is the rider controlling it themselves with their?
So the rider will have loose controllability of the actual ride car itself. Now, think of it as, so basically the way it would work is it's a single arm, then the control system, another single arm, the control system, another single arm. Those single arms can only go side to side. They cannot go forward or back. The ride car's track will move them forward and back.
So if you're in the front, you got this really cool view of, like, it looks like you're going through the city. If you're any of the other people in that row or that column, that line, you're just watching the person in front of you. Like, you can see their full arm.
You're independent of their swinging.
Depending on who's in front of you, you might got a good view too. Okay, well,
there you go. Hey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, but I mean, like, you're seeing all the mechanics and everything.
Some people's bodies are works of art. Other people's bodies are etch-a-sketches.
You're staring at the back of their seat. Like, yeah, you're swinging, but you see the robotic arm that they are on.
That's the beauty of it, my dear friend. Because you have the visor in front of you, you're able to paint out the other arm that's in front of it by using that projection technology on the AR surface. So what you're going to do is to also give them the hint as to which way they should go, have the bottom of the actual visor itself, the same way you would if you get shot in a video game and you're not looking in the direction that you're getting shot at. You'll see the damage on one side of the box screen. You'll see a small ghost image to tell you to put a metal bend towards that direction to be able to fly towards it. So there'll be a suggestion bar to give you the ability to see it. Yes, how can I help?
Will there be an audio description accessibility function for those that can't actually see anything with the visor, or are they supposed to just swing, myself included, in that question of, are we just swinging our arms, or will there be some kind of accessibility for us to engage in this ride?
So let me put it this way. I haven't made accessibility one of my options on any ride I've done so far. Why
Except
start
for the
now?
one you did, the first one you did.
For the first
Let's
set up the pitches.
Let's double down, in fact, and say that ride experience of the swinging around is not available to the people who cannot see through it. However, the Korra part of the ride is available for them, which will have audio descriptions of what's going on. You'll use 360-degree immersive sound technology to be able to hear them coming towards you. You'll hear the animatronic. You'll feel the ride itself. But the swinging arm, due to the danger factor it would be stagnant technically. It wouldn't even move towards the side to side. It would just give you a slight wobble. But I mean, you could take it.
So if you don't move your arms, your thing's not moving.
No, you'll move along the track, but
but you
it's
won't
not
swing
really
at
going
all.
to swing. No.
And what if I just am doing this? Is that?
Yeah.
I see so many mechanical issues. This is not going to be running often. I'm sorry, the Metal Bender experience is not available, but you can ride the Korra part.
No one's chasing you, but if you want to just ride it for the hell of it,
You can walk it.
Also, did you say that you'll hop on Naga 3 across?
No.
Yeah.
3 long.
So I'm pretty sure
So
yes.
like a Space Mountain, like a 1, 2, 3, where it's like one single person,
1,
3 back.
2, 3. You'll
Yeah.
stagger
Like
them
a
so they all have a good-
Matterhorn.
Yeah.
Like a Matterhorn.
Yes, you.
Teacher. I'm pretty sure one of the big parts of amusement parks is massive people and getting them through as quickly as possible.
The
So
amusement.
So it's only one. Yeah, sure, that too. Fine, if you want amusement, whatever.
Name
So-
one fun ride.
Yeah, it's like one fun ride. We have the insurance kiosk at the front. That's just for us, but okay, whatever. So just
The kiosk. Sorry, go on. Get your insurance here. Freshly baked insurance.
Get your cabbages, get your insurance. It's
Oh,
all-
Korra's kiosk.
So just 3 per ride on Naga.
3 per ride car, but you're staggering them every other one. So there are multiple
Okay.
Nagas.
Oh, okay,
Well,
okay.
But,
But-
as one Naga rounds the corner, like of
Okay.
part of the show building, another Naga will be coming through, as well
Right.
as another one of the police chases that you're seeing.
But what you're saying, Darcy Rose brings up an excellent point in that you said 3 people load onto Naga, and then that'll take off, and then the next ride clicks in.
Mhm.
So then you have 3 people on there,
Mhm.
and then that leaves, and then the next ride clicks in. So your loading time is going to be awful.
About 6 people a minute.
No, you use a launching system. So what you would do is you would have them set up so you have 2 lines that go off into 2 different directions. So one goes to the incline to lock into the seats. The other one goes towards where you're getting onto the Nagas. The Nagas then go into a loading area, as well as the police would end up going into a loading area, and then it would launch from there. So you can keep the launches consistent.
But you can't because
Okay, so 12 people a minute.
because of how you're going to be. I mean, one of these things is like safety is going to be an important issue. You need to make sure everybody's strapped in, especially if they're
Look,
on
it's
the metal
not like
bending
I'm a
swinging
health
arm.
and safety manager
And so
by
what
trade.
you're gonna have,
It's-
what you're gonna have is
really?
people.
That's
You're
true.
gonna have
Okay.
people coming in and going like, all right, let's hop in. Took my bag away real quick. Whoa, I haven't even secured yet. Hold on a second. Hold on.
No, there'll be some kids sitting there being like, please, one at a time, kid, please lock into the
So-
double safety check.
Yeah, I just see. I think points have been brought up that you're just not going to be able to get people through.
Plain simple.
Uh,
Shut up. Okay.
Yeah, you're just the amount of people that you get through per hour is going to be
Just
terrible.
wait. Just
and
wait.
The mechanics are going to break down on it
The lack of accessibility.
so much. Great. No, yeah.
But fun idea, fun concept.
Yeah, that's what happens when all of my concepts get taken out the top.
Besides everything that we didn't like, it was pretty okay.
Thank
I mean,
you.
I won't
basic-
apologize because
the
I didn't
basic
get the same
idea.
ideas that you had, so I'm not going to apologize.
If you would have taken that exact same story arc and I don't know redesigned the entire ride, great idea.
Aside from the beginning, middle, and end.
Aside from the beginning, the middle, the end, and she was saying it, like if you could just change your name and your general like personality and then do something completely
Yeah.
different, I would be like totally on board in like a totally not way.
What an achievable note.
That's what I can help.
Aren't they all?
So that was your third pitch, right?
That's my third pitch.
Excellent.
I really
So-
thought that was a 4th pitch. I totally thought there was one before the other one, and then there wasn't.
No, I had an AR version of the Battle Arena stunt show where a person gets to be one of the benders, but I don't get to do that because Brad took it.
I mean, you could have done it and just
No,
pitched it better.
no, I didn't want it.
You didn't? You mean you didn't pitch your Ikki musical too? Because I mean, you could have pitched.
You
it
know,
better.
there's something I can confidently say on this one, and that is that I did not write an Ikki musical. I apologize.
But you did have an kiosk.
No, he didn't. He
Darcy
just mentioned
Rose,
it.
give out the points so we can all leave.
Yeah. So cool.
So we've now come to the part of the show where we're going to review our rides for you and our attractions, and then you're going to award some points, and then I'm going to take some headache medication. So let's go ahead and run through it. So Brad, you went first with.
I had the Pro Bending Championship stunt show, Naga's Flight. Don't get hung up on that name. And Taste-Benders, my lovely restaurant experience.
Yes.
Okay. Spencer followed with.
I had Ikki's Air Nomad Glider Race, Korra's Creations with the K with the special Makora runes, and Ikki and the Harmonic Convergence, a harmonious musical.
And finally, I had the Iro's Cafe. Basically, it's a cake cafe. We had the Accolade Experience, the Airbending Temple, and finally, the Chase Ride. So for the first category of creativity, what are we going with? This is third place for the bronze.
Okay, third place for the bronze of creativity, the food stand, I think. Yeah, Korra's Creations, I'll say for creativity is bronze for creativity. Because it's food, it's good. I also heard it second. Sorry. For silver, I'm gonna say the Pro Bending Stunt Show.
Yes.
And for gold, you're gonna hate me. I'm gonna say the musical, and I'm saying it because it's not something I ever would have expected to see. That's fine. We've lost Oliver. That's cool.
Yes.
I'll see you in 4 months. I'm done.
Okay. I gotta
I'll
say the
take
musical
it.
is not something that I would have expected, and also I really think there needs to be a song called "Dance Like the Wind." Yeah. See, creativity is defined by the act of being creative.
That is true. That is true.
Before.
Oliver
So
didn't get any
that's,
points, so I'm
Yeah,
okay with it.
it's also been described as the absence of sanity. Anyway, moving on to practicality.
Practicality, I would say for bronze, I'm gonna say the I'll say Naga's Flight for bronze. That seems like a good pick. For silver, I'll say Taste-Benders. And then I think for gold, I'll say Arrow's Spirit Cakes.
All right.
Yeah, so I think food is pretty practical. I like the hiring the real actors for that. I think is much.
Give a person a job.
Give a person a job, and much more reliable than tech.
It's already set up for Halloween season.
So just to clarify, puppets took the category again. Just making sure that's okay. Just making sure. All right.
Even though food was specifically the reason why.
No, buddy, it doesn't matter what the vehicle is as long as puppets are included. It could be a puppet stunt show for all I care.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Anyway,
guest
the
favorite.
third category.
Guest favorite. Okay, so for bronze, I will say.
All three are going to the musical. I just know it.
Yes. Okay. I'll put the musical in bronze. Bronze.
Okay.
For guest favorite. For my silver, I will say Iro's Spirit Cakes because I really love tea and all that. I like the healthy option too. And then I'm very stuck between the Pro Bending Stunt Show, but I'm gonna say the Air Temple Island, even though the liability thing does get in my brain a little bit, because I do like the option of having a interactive game that makes people more active. So the Air Temple Island training thing, I'll say, is gonna be my favorite today.
I'll take them. So that is the podcast. I'm so happy that you've been here to join us for this. I'm so happy that puppets ruled the day and logic was completely devoid. This was a darn delight. So is there anything you would like to plug? Any shows that are recently released on Disney Plus, for instance?
Yeah. Oh, that's so random. I can't even believe you think to guess Disney Plus and that thing that we can't read on your screen because of the camera. It says Big Shot. That's so funny. So the plug is Big Shot on Disney Plus. I play Harper. I also wrote 5 songs for the show. Those songs will be coming out in episode 108 and 109. And everything, once it's out, you can stream it on Disney Plus. Go watch. It's a great show. I worked with Oliver on that. John Stamos is in it. I'm in it. Go watch. David E. Kelly, Dean Laurie, Bill Leah, Red Garrett, more names of really awesome people.
Basketball people,
Basketball
shows, moving
There's
pictures.
a basketball show and there's a musical that I wrote. So no matter what, there's something for you to like. There's Shakespeare.
Turquoise and purple is the main color palette.
Those are the colors. My hair is long. Watch the show.
Go Sirens. All right, that's going to bring us to the end of the episode. We've been Theoretical Thrills. I've been Oliver.
I've been Brad.
I'm Spencer.
I've been Darcy Rose Byrnes and will continue to do so.
Bye-bye.
Did you enjoy the episode you just watched? Feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And if you have an interpretation of an idea based on the theme of the week, feel free to tag us on social media with hashtag Theoretical Thrills, and we may feature your ride and attraction on the show.
Theoretical Thrills, the theory of the thrill.